What were your interactions with JBL like?
Uh, I I actually just got done. Me and him were just messaging each other, just a few days ago. I like never was one of the few guys that I was never in the ring with, and I guess there's part of me that's probably happy, but just I love John. John's the nicest guy. I saw John a couple years back, and I hadn't seen him in probably 15 years, and he made my day because he remembered me. Like I don't know, I just like the fact that like he was on a level I was never on, so we didn't have much interaction. We did do the SmackDown Your Vote campaign together, and it's just John's just the coolest guy, just the nicest guy. And all right, he's an example of someone who, when he does, his jokes are funny.
But no hazing, no, you're the rookie
No,
from Tough
oh,
Enough
fun,
from John.
but fun, but
Okay.
fun. Like just I mean, I told you I can take a joke, and I love it. I love the practical jokes. I love the ribbing. My first my first day on Raw, I walked in with a duffel bag. And to anybody that doesn't know, you don't go in a wrestling locker room with a duffel bag. You go in with a roller suitcase. I don't know where they found a logging chain, but they chained my bag to the ceiling and cut the straps off of it. So I then had to finish the loop out with a duffel bag that I was carrying like a wet dog I just washed. And I remember, I forget who it was, but somebody walked up and they were like, "Yeah, you might want to get a rolling bag." And I was like, "Yeah." But hey, I got a rolling bag. I've had one ever since. But that's the kind of stuff, like that stuff. Bring it on. I can do that stuff all day long. And John was always fun with stuff like that.
Anybody you can remember like the rib happened to them and they did not handle it well. They sold it, and you're like, oh man, this is not going to be well for this guy. You know what I mean? Like anybody like anyone not take a rib well and
No,
then they were pretty much done.
no, I mean nobody that comes off the top of my head, because you knew when you were in that locker room, it was, it's just the way it is. And guys were always trying to one up and top each other. And I mean, a locker room's changed a lot since our day, a lot. I mean, but also we were there, at the beginning before social media. So guys weren't, there weren't cell phones everywhere. There weren't. Man, I've told you to stop, stop letting all those bugs in your house,
There's something flying around here.
dude. Man, if you ever see me,
I think Maven's cracked. What's he doing over there? He finally lost it.
um, it's just you have to be good at in practical jokes. Me and Al had some good ones. Al had the best one I've ever seen in my life. Like, did I ever tell you that one?
No.
Again, I can cuss on here, right?
Yep.
This is the one. This is the practical joke that made me quit and tell him I tapped out. I'm like, I'm done. You got me. So we had been doing stuff forever. I mean, and just this harmless stuff. And I'll fast forward it. It elevated to one night he squirted cheese whiz all over me in a car.
Okay.
I was following him in a rental car, and he walks up and acts like he needs direction, and he had cheese whiz in his hand. He reached in the window and he squirted it everywhere. So then I'm following him, like flinging cheese whiz out the window. So later on, a couple weeks later, I went to his room and I was like, it was like the night before we were flying home. I'm like, let me see your car. I want to go to the strip club down the street. So he gives me his keys. I take his car 3 hotels down, hid it behind dumpsters, walked back to his hotel, knocked on his doors, and I was like, good luck finding your rental car. And he searched for it for, I want to say like 4 hours until he had to get his flight. And he'd be like, all right, tell me where it is. So I thought I beat him with that. Oh no. So I'm leaving DFW, Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and I'm the hardcore top champion at the time. That's important to the story. So it's 6 a.m. and I'm going through the TSA, and they run my bag through, and then they're like, we got to take a look at your bag, and I'm like, they want to look at the belt, no problem. I'll give you the rub. Take a look. You want to see a champion? Here he is. I'm half asleep though. So they're opening the bag up and they're looking at it, looking at me, looking at it, looking at me, and I'm just thinking they see the belt, they think it's cool. So then they start calling other TSA agents over. And come here. Next thing I know, I got 6 or 7 TSA agents over there looking in the bag and then looking at me, and I'm like, man, they really they can really appreciate a champion, you know. So flew, got to the next town, got to Charlotte, and I was getting ready to get something to eat. My wallet was, or something was in there. So I go, I unzip the bag, I open it up. Oh no, there was a 10-inch chin strap neatly placed on the right on the top. So all these times, so the whole time that these people are looking at it and then looking at
Mm.
me, they're thinking I can't leave home without this thing. And then, hey, and then on top of that, Mike, they're thinking I think I'm the champion of this. I called Al and I was like, dude, I'm done. I was like, because I don't want to know where you go from here. I
You
was
want to
like,
know
you win.
where did Al get that? How did he how did he have one of those laying around? Right?
The best part about it is it wasn't in the packaging. So it looked like
Yes.
it had been used.
It was weathered.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
It was distressed.
Awesome.
A buddy of mine sent me a thing on eBay one time with one of my action figures, and in the like the description of it, it says slightly played with. We always just thought that was the funniest thing. Slightly played with.
Oh man.
I didn't play
Man.
with it long. I just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I played with it a little bit.